for today's cup of coffee with Scream.
Cup of coffee.
Way lots of Scream.
Yeah, just a little bit today. It's like the day after Christmas?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say that it's lots of screaming.
Oh, it was lots of Scream. Because I had to have an SSD card put in the laptop.
You did. But that wasn't a bad experience.
No, I was grateful that you and your brother could do that. But somehow there was a miscommunication and that everything else that I had on the computer is gone.
It's gone. It's a fresh install.
It's gone.
It's a clean slate.
So I've had to try to reinstall all the programs and get the programs to working. That's not the microphone, that's my voice, if that tells you anything. And so it's like a little level of hell. A lower level of hell. There was a time when all that was bad. There was a time when all this stuff was exciting to me. At this age, it's no longer exciting.
Well, that's because it's constantly changing, and the fact that it's all made to, break down within the span of a year.
Yeah. So we have no idea how the sound quality is going to be because I lost all the settings.
All the settings. Well, there was no real way to transfer that stuff anyway.
No, I understand that. And it's because that there are people that truly know what they're doing, and I'm not one of them. And it's like I bumble. I have bumbled. And it just...
That's okay. People bumble.
They do. And it was interesting observing today because people were really keyed up over things that are really meaningless.
Yeah, that seems to be the thing for lately, at least the past week or more. It's people getting riled up over just stupid shit.
And
there's no reason for it.
It has truly been like Mercury retrograde, only bad.
Yeah, on steroids.
Uh-huh. And Mercury is no longer in retrograde, has been out of retrograde for quite a while now.
Mm-hmm. So it's like, what the fuck is up with that?
I think that everybody is just so on edge, is a lot of it. And
could be.
I have gone forth and pissed people off. Of course, I have a tendency to do that because I speak truth.
Go piss, mama. You go piss, girl.
I'm diabetic. I don't have a lot of choice on that.
Go piss, girl.
But it was interesting that...
Screaming.
Even the cats.
Yeah. It's been one of those...
My God. What? It has just... Yeah, that has been the reading from every side and every angle. And it's like, no, I ain't going to play that.
No. No.
Because sometimes when you come in with basically you don't care, you don't have an opinion.
People get pissed off.
Yeah, because you're not picking a side. I don't have to.
Literally, it's like, why do I have to pick a side?
Right.
Why is there a side that needs to be picked anyway?
Exactly.
I mean, unless it's like the side of good and evil, pick good, But stuff like this shit, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Stuff like the petty shit like, oh, you're not falling into this political belief. Oh, you're not falling into this religious belief. You're not falling into this. Pia!
Mm-hmm. It's like people need to sort of stay in their own lanes and step back just a minute. Because remember, when you're too emotional, that shuts off the rational part of your brain.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But this deal about, about Elon had said something and Vivek had said something and everybody was pissed off about somebody that said something. And did they really pay attention to what they were trying to convey?
It's a lot of the time, no. It's like...
And my question was on a lot of these people, it's like, they're not on our team. They're not on our team.
What is our team?
Right. Yeah.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but it's like, dude,
it's
what
true.
is our team?
Right.
Not getting burnt?
Yeah, kids over here with a hot glue gun as we're recording.
I'm gluing doll hair. I don't feel like rerouting a hard plastic head.
But it was just most interesting, and I really understood what was trying to be conveyed. And a lot of people's like, yeah, they're anti-American. No, they're not. They're just speaking truth. Because right now, the problems, before you can find a solution, you have to identify what a problem is.
Yes.
And a lot of the solutions to those problems are not going to be quick and easy. Because we have people that have been brainwashed.
Oh, yeah. Big time. And it ain't cool.
And as far as somebody being, like I said, these are business people. They're successful people. You don't hire people that are dumbasses. We've tried that. Look at our government. Look where that has gotten us. I think that a lot of people are wanting competent people. There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, but if you have a dumb nation, you know that you got an easy to conquer nation. So
yeah,
I'm not trying to get dark here. I'm really not.
No, it's just fact. It's just fact, and that was the thing I think that pissed some people off, because it's like, look, we have 2 generations basically at this point that have been the product of Marxist indoctrination in college. That includes, as far as this DEI stuff, all this woke stuff. These people can't function a lot of times.
No.
They have been so entitled about everything because it has been they're the product of social engineering. And, you can only do so much as a parent to try to negate some of that stuff. You can't. You can't negate it all unless you are like the Amish. But with today's world, and they have access to the internet and different things like that, and different forms of thought, and you try to teach them to think well, to think properly, to think rationally, that doesn't mean they're going to do it.
No.
And so to sit there and say, okay, maybe we need to get some specialists from outside of this nation to come in. They didn't say that would be the only people that would be hired.
But people want a narrative that they want to spin and then make an enemy out of someone when there is no enemy to be made.
Right. Right.
Because people need someone to be angry at, apparently.
And if you're expecting someone to never misspeak, never do something that according to you is improper, you're going to have a lifetime of disappointment. God doesn't expect that of us, so why would a person?
Right.
God knows very well we're going to mess up over and over. There is a song by a group called Demon Slayer or Demon Hunter, one or the other. And I would look it up, but with this new setup on the computer, I'd probably ask something up. But the song is I will fail you, or I will disappoint you. I guess I will have to look it up. But it's
like,
talking.
I will survive.
No, well, that one too. But it's like what it does. It's talking about knowing that they are going to fail God, because we do. And He loves us anyway. It's like a child. You expect your children to be perfect every time? No. And the problems that we have in America right now, we have a lot of children that were not raised to understand discipline, and that includes self-discipline. They were, as far as work ethic, different things like that. And then people to get upset because somebody pointed out the obvious. No, do a little bit of self-reflection.
Yes.
And that if somebody can make a statement, you cannot address any kind of, to every single individual, to tailor make it to each human that might be listening. There again, that's an unrealistic expectation. You will be disappointed.
You will be.
But that goes back to rational thought. People used to understand that as far as generalities, there's always within the bell curve people that do not fit the norm.
It's always been a thing.
Yeah.
There's always going to be those people that are not going to fit into the norms of society, and I think it's also designed as such.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't fit into it.
Right.
Don't want to. I tried when I was younger. At this point, I'm like, no, fuck it. I'm in my lane.
Well, that's why I love people like you that are in their own lane. Other people such as Pete Burns, they were very much in their own lane, and they would honestly fucking laugh at and just mock some of the shit that's going on today.
Yeah, it is not the time to be in as far as herd mentality. And just waiting to sit and wait for somebody to screw up or say something that pisses you off or whatever. Is that how you want others to view you?
Right.
Like I said, somebody can observe me for about 10 minutes and I will make a mistake. It's a given. And it's like perfectly imperfect. And to read, I think everybody needs to sit down and read a copy of that book, The Spirituality of Imperfection. That is the main thing. The key of being human is to embrace imperfection. To try our best to overcome it. But it has just been interesting.
It's been a ride.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And it's like I'm going to include at the end of this kids' sound check, which is adorable. God, it's adorable.
Oh, God. Okay.
Because I've been sitting here and it's just like, oh, God, I've got to try to do that. And some days I have greater ability to do some of these things and process information. Usually that's earlier than in the day. Mm-hmm. Because I'm almost 60 years old. And to not expect more of myself than I am capable of, and to be okay with that. And a lot of days, I'm not okay with that.
Mama, that's just human. Nobody's okay with the fact that when they start not being able to do, they're like, fucking hell, this is bullshit.
Yeah. Because as far as, and not getting morbid, there is a bell curve with life.
Oh, God.
You start out at that bottom rung and then you build up some momentum and then you reach a peak and then you start going down the other side. That's just reality.
That's the reason why some younger people of my generation and brother's generation stopped listening to some people of the older generations, because it's just, there was no value to what they were talking about other than it was sorrow. A lot of sorrow.
Right.
And that's...
Are you talking about regret and remorse of what they did and didn't do?
And people dying and stuff like that and all that. And, so-and-so dying in such a horrific way.
Oh, my God.
Or the other stuff.
Morbid tales.
And it's like, dead ass, you can go to one of those old folks' homes and it's just, you can have a field day with that.
There was a comedian and his name was George Barnes, and he was hilarious. And he said that he would get up, he would read the newspaper. If his name wasn't in it, he would have coffee and go about his day. And that's not verbatim. But that's, if you wake up to sit there and go, woohoo, it's coffee time.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you, Lord, for blessing me with another day.
Right. What do I get to do today? What puzzle do I need to solve? What do I need to... It's a matter of perspective. Mm-hmm. And to be grateful for what you have. And to laugh at the other stuff. Because at the end of the day, is it going to matter? Yeah. Exactly. Are you going to really sit there in your last moments worrying about a tweet? For real. It's like, get a grip, folks.
It's like, oh, I fucked up about that tweet. I really said some shit.
If you said something really horrible, and there have been some people, and it's to think before you type, because internet is forever.
Do you know about the lolcow community?
The what?
The lolcow community. LOL COW.
May have heard you mention it, but no.
You talk about people that are going to be some rough people that say some rough shit online. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. It's like they just love making an ass out of themselves and others.
When you can make somebody's day a little better, why would you not?
They get attention and money. I don't know.
No.
It ain't worth it.
No.
That's the same for getting, like, doing those. In my eyes, that's no joke different than sort of those humiliation rituals in Hollywood.
Yeah. It's like this. Everybody has personal accountability and responsibility each and every day. Some days we do well with that task. Some days we don't.
Right.
But it's also one of those to pay attention to yourself. And if you find yourself getting overly emotional before you type or before you open your mouth, go touch grass. Get you another cup of coffee, because words have tremendous power.
They have a lot more power than people realize.
Absolutely. And you can choose to either be a blessing or a curse.
Be a blessing. Choose life.
Now, speaking truth is not being a curse, even if truth pisses somebody off, that's not the fault of the one speaking the truth. That is the receiver. And at their point in life, and my God, you all think I'm blunt? Oh no, I had a friend who she was brutal. God, she was brutal.
She could rip someone to shreds.
She could. And she's like, I'm telling truth. I said, yes, but you have to temper the truth with love. Don't bludgeon somebody with the truth. But when we have, as a society and a nation, got so many people that if you look at them, honestly, if they even perceive that you're looking at them in a funny way, they go all to hell. That is an individual problem. That has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, that's a lack of...
That's narcissism.
If they think that someone's looking at them in some sort of way, yeah, it is a form of narcissism, and it's also such a deep-seated level of insecurity and
it's
paranoia.
Mm-hmm. That's small child brain. He looked at me funny. He stuck his tongue out at me. It used to be that we would teach children and go on. What
yes.
This has no bearing on your life.
It's like yes and.
And so these are some of the things that, as far as children throwing tantrums, and that they didn't, some parent didn't do their job. They did not do their job.
Right. They did not do their job whatsoever. That's a common denominator.
Mm-hmm.
But when people bring that up, people get pissy, and it's like,
We've got a saying, the chickens come home to roost. And that means at some point that there are consequences for actions.
Yep.
Or inactions. Now, we had those eclipses that crossed the United States, made an X there in Texas. All the X's live in Texas. X now lives in Texas, so that's interesting in and of itself.
That is interesting.
We don't know what's coming down the pike. But I think that, like I said, I think people need to get a grip, get another cup of coffee, breathe, and think.
Get a life, get a grip, and get over it.
We've got people that actually have problems.
Right. So why are you making up unnecessary problems? Why are you making up shit?
And it's one of those, help the ones that do have the honest to God problems. And be grateful to God that it's not you.
My question is their life that boring that they gotta create shit?
I don't know. That's a good question. You know, there are off switches on these devices. Right. You can sit down and read a book. You can color a picture. You can go and, work at a homeless shelter or a food bank or something like that. There's always people that's wanting volunteers. You do something that actually matters.
Right, and you really do get over the uncomfortable of not having the device on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, not that big of a deal, but a lot of people just are not willing to do it. It's not.
And that's their choice. And at the end of the day, that is what it is. And it's like I had told Kid, and because he's Gen Z. And I told him today, I said, you're wanting someone to tell you what to do. I said, I'm not going to do it. Because if it goes sideways, I don't want it to come back going, you told me to. You make your own decisions.
Yeah.
So, yes, I do walk the talk.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. And it's like, shit, I don't know what to do.
Honey, you're 25 years old. You'll figure it out. Honestly. And it's a matter of learning to think well, to work with what you got. You know, if you've got a deficit in one area, find out how to work around it.
That's why I'm working.
Appalachian engineer that shit too.
That's why I'm working with what I got right now.
Yeah. So it was just a day.
It's been a day. Mm-hmm. And you're sitting up like Princess on a Pea right now still.
I am. This couch is high. But my knees have felt better. As long as I don't roll off in the floor.
Yes.
But it was a matter of identifying the problem also. And we have no idea how this is going to sound. If it sounds horrible, then we'll work on it for the next time. Final thoughts, Kid.
You can catch me in the bowling alley.
Final
I'll be
thoughts.
echoing somewhere.
It'd be all right in the ballpark.
Yeah.
I did the announcing. That was so much fun. I had the best seat in the house. T-ball, Little League. Mm-hmm. Fun stuff. That stuff mattered. Yeah. Mattered to me.
It's fun. Fun stuff.
My kid out there and building dirt castles.
I was not a very, very
he was not
athletic kid.
He was not. And everybody's like, put him in the outfield, put him further back out so somebody doesn't beat him with the ball. Please, God, don't let him get him with the ball.
I wonder how many people were actually talking.
They wasn't that many people. Nobody other than me, probably. It's just, he was adorable. He was just sitting out there making dirt castles.
That's the only reason I even signed up, was just so I could sit in there and play in the sand.
Well, you wanted to. Your brother played ball, and so that was what it was. You were inspired. Yeah.
I could not do it.
It's okay, because you're not your brother. You're you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Y'all have a good.
He's give up. Everybody's having paranormal and supernatural.
Oh, dear God.
Oh, you want to tell them where we can be found?
You can find us on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Rolanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Check her out on X, Rolanda, COCWS, if she's signed back in to her X account on this.
Yes, my X account is working, because that was one of the things as far as the Google. It all freaks me
That's
out.
where it started off as. It started off as the fact that, like, we did not know which email your Microsoft account was on. So it's like, okay, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
And Elijah's like, you don't know her email? And it's like, fuck no, she has like 58 of them.
I don't have that many. But I do have several. Because, well, you've got business ones, and you've got different types of business, and you've got to do, it's compartmentalizing, because you can't, if you've just got one. I get overwhelmed.
You know how much
with emails.
You know how much it shocks me how much I am actually like you day by day, and I really do not realize it, like the multiple emails.
Yeah.
Having multiple emails. I thought it was just me trying to run from something.
At one point in time, I had to have 3 phones.
How the fuck?
I had my personal phone, I had my work phone, and then if I was on call over the weekend and stuff, I had that phone.
How the fuck?
Yeah, and that was a 24-hour thing. I mean, you was on call. It didn't matter what time of the night, you had to sleep with that phone. If somebody went into crisis, you answered it. That's
just how you do.
It was the job. It's what it required. And I did it to the best of my ability.
Mm-hmm. You did.
It was interesting.
You've lived an interesting life.
I have. It's that moon in Gemini. Know that you are loved. Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. Yes. We will hopefully get the OBS settings.
I thought it sounded okay in the sound test thing, the do-ba-do,
Yeah, we'll put that in. I'll put that at the end of that. Anyhow, Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da. I'm blue dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da dabba dee dabba da.